credit to our clients. We've had a lot of conversations, and you've seen real, good from people there. They're very level-headed. They just want to chat. They want a bit of the inside track. Credit to our advisors. Cracking on, getting there, doing that important role of looking after their advisors, and actually credit to everybody in head office as well. You've seen. I think it's obviously you think, of course, you'll say that because it's public, but we've got a tremendous team at True Potential, and they've been, at a time where it's been, unprecedented. They're, calm. They've done a grand job for clients and for our advisors. So I think that's great, and I think just you really are seeing that good of people. And I think talking about another, opportunity which comes from chaos or unprecedented times is a better chance to do more good. And Peter, I wanted you to talk about a new initiative which you're part of.
Yeah, so we've just launched this national initiative called the C-19 Business Pledge, and as many people will know, True Potential and David particularly a couple of years ago began something called the Social Mobility Pledge, which has really shown in 2 years that business is genuinely a force for good. Businesses want to do good things. Business leaders want to do good stuff in their communities and for their people. And what we're trying to do is put that same effort towards this sort of short to medium term problem with the coronavirus. And so we've launched that this week. And what it basically says is clearly businesses, their first priority is going to be survival. Can you put the measures in place? Can you get the things that you need to do to survive? Because that's the number one thing. If you can't survive, then you can't do any good anyway. It's a bit like profit. You've got to make profit to be able to have to put it to good purpose. So we get that. No one's trying to say that you shouldn't do that. And I think, to be fair, at True Potential, probably I think 3 weeks ago we were starting to put measures in place and discuss what would we need to do. So we're now in that position where you can say we've done as much as we can do for the time being. What now is the bigger, the greater good, if you like. And so David and colleagues from the Social Mobility Pledge have set this up, effectively asking companies to think about three things. What measures can you put in place to look after your employees? So some of the kind of things you were talking about, Dan. What can you do for your clients and your customers? And thirdly, what can you do in the community? And we'll talk about that in a moment. And I mean, in 24 hours since this thing's been launched, I think there's now businesses covering about 300,000 people in the country, of which True Potential was the first one, to commit to doing that. And obviously this is not just for the next fortnight, it's not just for the next 2 months, it's the whole recovery and getting Britain back on its feet. Because the point is, and this is where the Prime Minister is absolutely right, is government cannot solve this problem on its own. Individuals washing our hands cannot solve it on our own. And businesses cannot solve it. But you put those three bits together. If we do our bit, if you get 100% of people following the advice, not the 1 in 10 who can't be bothered to, if you get the government trying to do what it can do in a timely and a clear manner, and if businesses, once they're secure in their position, can put their shoulder to the wheel as well, then you have a chance. And that's how Ebola was partly resolved in those countries, when they got all bits of the jigsaw working together. That's the way to do it. And I think what we're trying to do with the C-19 Business Pledge is to say, sign up to that. If companies will always do their own thing, and that's absolutely right. And no one's saying that that shouldn't be the case. What you're trying to say is, if you're wondering what you can do to go above and beyond, or if you just want a sort of framework of how you should focus your efforts, then that's David's experience, and it's other business leaders' experience of they're the things you could focus on that would make a difference.
Yes, these good practical solutions.
Absolutely,
isn't it? Yeah.
And it's not meant to be top-down dictatorial, these are the things you should do. It's trying to say these are the 3 areas you might want to consider working in, but absolutely it's up to you as a business and to work out what that means for your specific business, because how would we know anyway what a company 300 miles away should be doing? So it's trying to give some structure to a national effort that in the end is what Britain will need.
And I think follow on the message we've had at True Potential, which you're largely seen from government, I think, with the daily briefings, which is deliver information in a transparent fashion, but deliver it in a calm, reassuring fashion as well.